Welcome to this week's edition of Mainly Motorsports as we are on location at Pensacola Five Flag Speedway for the Snowball Derby. You're not seeing it this week, you're going to see it next week, but that's where I am as you're tuning in to this week's episode, and pretty excited to get back down to Pensacola Five Flag Speedway, Tim Bryant, the entire staff, and really look forward to it. Catch up with a lot of friends we've made over the years by going to this race. Friends we bring with us, you know, a lot of the Naughty 40 team, Dan McKagan, his entire fan base and support system all go down to this event, as this is one of those can't miss events. We talk about the Oxford 250 up here in the Northeast being a can't miss event. This is a can't miss event down there throughout the Southeast and all parts of the country. Is the top manufacturers, the top vendors, the top drivers, the top crew chiefs. They'll all be here. They'll all be at Five Flag Speedway all weekend long. Great racing to be seen, all divisions. Speed 51 brings it to you, so if you're really interested in following along and seeing some great racing, it's your chance to go with Speed 51 and check things out and get them to subscribe to the programming and be able to see what's going on at Five Flag Speedway. So we're going to have a lot of highlights. You won't see it this week, but you'll see it next week right here on Mainly Motorsports. But haven't had Amy in the seat yet. Haven't had Amy, you know. I got to hear about the Joey Logano thing. She'll probably be pretty excited, you know, all that championship stuff. And been a busy time of year, Thanksgiving, Christmas, storm after storm after storm. But hopefully things slow down. We can enjoy the holiday season, enjoy it with family and friends, and just have a great time. So I can't wait to catch up with Amy to hear more about the Joey Logano excitement. And but she's done a special thing on this week's show. Is she caught up with a friend of hers and the Thursday Thunder champion Chris Case, and talk a little bit about him, about 2018, 2017, his racing career, what brought him into racing. And it's always nice to hear from these guys behind the scenes, and we all know the top stars, the guys that are running the super late models, the tour type mods, the late models. You know, they've come up through the ranks, or they've been on the radar for a long time as a kid coming up through the ranks. But it's always nice to catch up with guys that just want to be a part of the sport. And if it's a weekly program, whether it's Wacky Wednesday or Oxford and Speedway 95 or Thursday Thunder at Beach Ridge, they just want to be a part of the sport. So look forward to hear what Amy and Chris talk about over the next few segments, and enjoy this, and great job by Amy. So we'll take a break and we'll be back with Amy.
Hi, I'm Sean Moody. We take pride in our facilities, and at Moody's, it's what's inside that matters. We believe it's more than just the exterior looking good, it's what's inside that matters. Restoring the structure of your vehicle to factory specs is critical to your safety. I'm proud of our Moody's co-worker owners who understand the importance of protecting a valuable asset. And we all know what our most valuable asset is. It's what's inside that matters.
Welcome to LST Landscaping, where we've been providing complete landscape solutions to all of southern Maine since 1969. We specialize in year-round landscape maintenance and snow services, including weekly lawn mowing, seasonal cleanups, sweeping, mulching, and so much more. Many more customizable services are available upon request. Please call our office today at 207-878-1578 or visit our website, lstlandscapinginc.com.
Hi, I'm Scott from Scott's Recreation. We just had the biggest month in our history. Why? We're selling campers at wholesale to the public, even the 2019s. So what did we do? We went out and bought a bunch more. Up to 40% off travel trailers and fifth wheels, up to 35% off toy haulers, up to 30% off motorhomes. You'll never see these prices again. Over 400 campers to choose from, all at wholesale prices.
Scott's Recreation, Route 4 Turner and Route 202 Manchester, Maine.
Ignition won't turn? Wait, don't tow it. It may just be a one key. Hi, I'm Jim Broadhurst, owner of eKeys for Cars of Saco. At eKeys for Cars, we'll diagnose your problem over the phone and give you a firm quote. No bait and switch here. Whenever or wherever you're stuck, eKeys for Cars will come to you. Call eKeys for Cars in Saco, the fast, affordable fix for your car key and lock needs.
Mainly Motorsports, brought to you by LKQ Core. Any part, any repair, anywhere. Located on Route 202 in Gorham. Wiscasset Speedway, Maine's biggest and fastest, with $5 admission every weekend and loads of family fun. Check us out at wiscassetspeedway.com.
Bentley Saloon, Route 1 in Arundel. Stop by and see why me and my friends say, who has more fun than us? We do.
Well, welcome back to Mainly Motorsports, and Steve and I have decided to honor some of the track champions of 2018 at different tracks. So we're starting it out here with Chris Case, who was the 2018 Junior Varsity Beetlebugs champion for Thursday Night Thunder at Beach Ridge. And I know we don't talk a lot about Thursday Night Thunder. We focus a lot on modifieds. We focus a lot on the Pro All-Star Series. We focus a lot on weekly Saturday, Friday night divisions at the Ridge. But Thursday Night Thunder has been going on for years and years and years. It's a good introductory level of racing for people that are getting into the sport, no matter what age. And so do you want to talk to us a little bit, kind of intro to people that don't know a little bit more about the Thursday Night Thunder series?
Definitely. Thursday Night Thunder was, I think last year was the 25th anniversary of it. It's been around for a while. It's a really great family-friendly show because they're done by 9 every night. It's a 2-hour show. Kids can come. It's cheap. And then us people starting in racing get a chance to go out and see what we can do and if we can do it, which is a lot of fun. There's 2 separate divisions. There's varsity and junior varsity. Junior varsity drivers are under 4 years of experience, and the varsity drivers are over 4 years of experience. So we get a good variety of experience levels and get to see a lot of people learning how to start doing this.
Yeah, and I mean, it kind of keeps they don't put somebody with like a year or less of experience in with like some seasoned driver that's been racing 5 or 6 seasons, right. Which kind of makes it unique, but kind of makes it like more of an even playing field in a sense. Definitely.
You learn a lot in the junior varsity division about how to get around things. Once you have a little bit more experience, once you're not the things people are trying to get around, there's a lot of different elements to racing, obviously, and I think you tend to see more people make mistakes in junior varsity, and we all have to learn from those, which is a lot of fun. But when you have those mistakes happen around you, you obviously have to be able to avoid them, and that takes some learning too. So there's definitely a variety of experience levels, even in junior varsity, where we have people that start. We had a really good group that came in together in 2015 when I did, and we kind of, we're all moving up to varsity next year, but those people you get comfortable with, and then there are people that are new that you're not as comfortable with, and things change and evolve, and that's how it always is in racing anyway.
And one thing that was really cool to see this season is that, especially in your division, we saw a lot of new people come in, and it was definitely, I guess, interesting would be a word to say, to see kind of how things played out over the course of the season. But in past years, car counts have been a little lower in like the Beetlebug division, so it's kind of cool to see like more cars out there and more interest in the division.
Definitely. We had a lot more cars this year, which was good. That creates a lot of drama, really. To be able to look at the divisions when we went from 8 cars, give or take, last year to about 12 or 13, I think, this year, where we invert the cars based on points. The points leaders are starting in the back, the people that win races are starting in the back, and they have a lot more traffic to go through. And it's also really educational for us to learn about how we can make our cars do different things. Beach Ridge being a fairly flat track that's fairly small, and we're turning almost all the way around, we tend to want to be on the bottom. It's the fastest way around, but if you can make a car work on top, and when you're going through that many cars, it really helps to be able to make the car handle in different places. So that benefits us to try to learn how to make the cars, adjust the cars to be able to do different things.
And then another thing that's interesting too about Thursday nights, like you said, is that no heat races. So that one makes it like a shorter show. So, like the kids are home in bed, earlier, but it also makes it, like you said, kind of like a learning experience for those, that win races, because then you have to fight your way through the field, and, it kind of stirs things up a little bit.
It really does. It's never expected when you win a race to start from the back, where you're a feature winner, you start in the back the next week. It's never expected that you can get through everybody. It's anxiety provoking knowing how much is in front of you. But you also get to see people that you don't always see from week to week. Being able to start in the back and get a feel for the other cars that are high in points that you may be behind and start just in front of the following week, you get to see some of those guys and race with them, and you really get an opportunity to race with everyone in the field, which can be beneficial to everyone. They can see you. A lot of the new guys have, the questions that we all had. What do you do coming off the corner? What do you do on entry? You get to see that when you get to run around those people, which is one of the reasons I'm excited for varsity also, to see what those guys do compared to what I do, what I'm used to. And it's going to be nice to be able to see somebody with 15 plus years of experience doing this and how I can adapt what I do to try to keep up with them. So it's a very interesting thing. We get to see a lot of people with a lot of experience and a lot of people with not much. So it's fun both ways.
And it'll be interesting for you because next season you'll be moving up to the varsity division finally. So it'll be nice, kind of seeing how things go. And I know that this past season was your best season, obviously came away with the championship. But I think before we talk about that, we should talk about not this past season, but the season before, which was kind of more so a heartbreaker for you and, after a really solid season.
Yeah, 2017 was exciting going in. I was excited to be in a new car. I was excited to be in something that has had a history of performance with David Luce and with John Peters. There's been some really successful drivers that have been in this car in the past. I got the opportunity to drive this car and went in knowing that, this was the time to tell if it was the driver, if it was the car. If I couldn't perform well in this car, then maybe I should step away. And got to go out opening night, won my first race opening night in 2017, which was amazing. I still listen to the call on the YouTube video from Andy Austin for that one. It was very cool. And like I said, we had seven or eight cars most races. So the following week went out and won again, which was just unbelievable. Had a great battle in that race, a three-way battle at the end with Derek McKean and Brandon Lazat. Two of the people that we came in together with, so we have a good feel for each other and we respect each other very much, and ended up pulling off that win too, which was amazing. Total of 5 wins in 2017. The season went 8 races. We had 2 rainouts, and then the night before championship night, I wasn't feeling great. Ended up having to go to the hospital on championship morning. And was diagnosed with meningitis, a spinal fluid infection. So they wouldn't let me go. I tried. I tried to get them to just give me something and go race, but they wouldn't let me. I was 2 points back from the points lead based on a violation that I had earlier in the season, a penalty that I was trying to overcome. And we had a shot at it. We were fast. I mean, I was confident going into that, knowing that we were in a good position. Unlike this year, come to find out later. But yeah, 2017 was a heartbreaker. It was a great season. I won a ton of races. I got to feel like I was part of the picture. And going into the year, my goals, I've tried to always set goals that were realistic. I wanted to be relevant, and I was that. I ended up 4th in points and did what we could with what we had. Unfortunately, wasn't able to complete the season, so ended up 4th in points. But
you know what? Like I felt like it was like every single week it was either a rain out or you were in victory lane. It was either way. Boring for the fans.
I mean, it's neat with Thursday Thunder because we start in the back. Regardless of who wins, if there's somebody that wins every week, you still have to watch them drive through everybody. And not literally, you watch them drive around everybody. And to see that from these drivers, I think that that's something that you don't always get in heat races with features following it. They don't make bad moves in heat races. You can't use your stuff up in a heat race. You know that you have a feature and that's what pays the money and gives the trophies. So in our racing, you have to give it all for 15, 20, 25 laps, whatever our feature may be. And I think the fans get to see that, once, with our cars in particular, once the tires get up to pressure, the cars change very much from the first couple of laps. And to be able to watch a driver come from the back to the front and literally use his stuff up every week to do that, there is some fun in that besides the fact that you see the same guy every week going to victory lane. But when it's you, isn't that bad.
Well, yeah, definitely, you know, not the end that you wanted for 2017, but you did find a way to, you know, kind of get back in the saddle again and, you know, finally get it done in 2018. So I think we've kind of talking a lot, so maybe we should take a commercial break, you know, hear from some of our sponsors, and then we'll come back and then we'll talk about this past season, 2018, and how that one ended up for you.
Perfect.
For a trusted name in residential and commercial site work in the southern Maine area, call Peter Pettit Excavating. We can handle everything from the complete house lot to those nasty water and sewer line repairs. Septic systems are another area that we specialize in. During the snow season, Pettit Excavating has the equipment to handle any size job.
And when the race season arrives, be sure to follow the number 7 Hewitt's Family Restaurant Chevrolet on the past Super Late Model Tour.
Call 207-282-9305 to get the job done right. That's Peter Pettit Excavating.
Don't deal with just anybody to seal coat your driveway or business this season. Call Black Magic. They bring over 20 years of experience in seal coating and crack filling. Black Magic's skilled team makes sure the job is always done right, on schedule with quality workmanship at a fair price. Protect your investment in your driveway by getting it sealed with Black Magic.
Ooh, Black Magic.
My name is Scott. This is Devin. We're the owners of Black Magic Seal Coating. Let us earn your business today. You'll be glad you did.
Patman's Redemption and Agency Liquor Store is located at 95 Tanberg Trail in Windham, Maine. With over 400 feet of hard liquor and 15 doors of ice-cold beer and soda, Patman's can handle all of your beverage needs. And if it's wine on your agenda, we have over 300 varieties in stock. Then when the party's over, Patman's can handle all of your Maine returnables, and we welcome all bottle drives. And if you're late for the race, drop off the bottles and pick up the cash at your convenience.
Hey, this is Pat Man himself, just letting you know that Pat Man's is your one-stop shop for all your thirsty needs.
So welcome back to Mainely Motorsports. Still here with Chris Case. He hasn't left me yet, hasn't gotten bored yet. So we talked about, you know, kind of how 2017 ended for you, the regular season, on a devastating note. But one thing that was really cool is that not even a month later, after you, let's face it, you like almost could have died, you came back, and you want to talk to us a little bit about past weekend and how that all went down for you, because I think that was really cool for not only you but your team and also like the fans and the stands, because everyone was cheering you on that day.
Yeah, that was a really cool deal for me. I wasn't sure if I'd be able to race when PASS came into town. They had the midweek classic in 2017, and it was roughly the middle of September, so a month or so after we got done. But I had basically told myself that I was going to go and try to get in the car. I had lost a lot of weight. I lost 35 pounds when I was sick, and wasn't feeling great yet. But I knew that was one of the races that everybody talks about and everybody remembers. So I wanted to go out and run the heat race anyway, see how that went, see how I felt in the car, and from there, you know, see if we could continue on to the feature. I got lucky. I drew really well. I think I started third in my heat, one of 2 heats, and took a few laps to kind of get back into the feel of things, but ended up winning the heat race, which was terrific. Never had run a heat race before, so winning it was cool. And then started on the pole for the feature, ran second for a while, ended up running against some of the Oxford guys, Cam Childs, who can wheel a car, there's no question. Ran outside of him for 3 or 4 laps to make the pass for the lead, and ended up driving away with the thing. Jeff Walker was coming from behind. I could see the white in my mirror coming at me. He and I have joked since about how I was looking for the flagman to show me something, show me 5 to go, show me 2 to go, show me something. And he said I just kept looking for the yellow because I wanted to catch it. So and ended up winning that, which was just amazing. It's such a booster for me. Yeah, I think we had 29 cars that day. So it was really cool to get out there and win that race. That was neat. And then the trophy was big, and you know, my son likes that, so that's his favorite trophy that I have.
I remember that because like Amber, I brought her down to see you after the race, and like the trophy's almost the size of her hand.
It was amazing. It was absolutely amazing. We didn't have a whole lot of a team there either. My crew chief from the season last year was working. He works on Saturdays, so his wife was there helping. My parents came. We had the people there that we needed to get. Thankfully, we didn't need to do much, but we were able to run it, did really, really well, obviously, and got to share that with everybody after, which was cool. was just a really, really cool day for me. It was a very successful feeling day for me. And to get back in the car and just feel like I was back to somewhat normal, it was good, very good.
And then definitely like a good pickup after, kind of feeling like the lowest of lows that you can feel after, feeling like a championship is so close. And then like not being able to race it was completely out of your control. Like nothing you could have done to, kind of put you into that race car. So, to come back like not even a month later and to just kind of win the heat race, not only to win a heat race, but to go on and win the feature was just really cool.
Yeah.
I remember sitting by some people in the stands and they were like, who is this guy? Like, and I was like, oh, well, let me tell you about what happened like a few weeks ago. And they were amazed, and everyone just like thought it was incredible that you were able to pull it off. So that was really cool to see.
Yeah, it's amazing, the racing family, to touch on that, just real quick. After the win, the guys that came by me and revved the engines up to congratulate me, guys that I don't necessarily race with every week either, guys that were in varsity or guys that were from Oxford that knew the story, but they didn't know me that well. We follow each other. We pay attention to each other. We, the fans as well. The fans are amazing. The people that come every week that know us and know what to expect from us and know what to see in drivers. That there's so many different types of drivers, and the people that like your style definitely perk you up and make you feel good about how you do things. So it was really, really cool, and cool to hear that as well. That's neat stuff. So thank you for that.
Yeah. So you definitely like used the momentum, you got from the end of last season, that past weekend, to kind of, power you into this season. Mm-hmm. And I know that this season, like win-wise, wasn't as, didn't have as many wins this season as you did last season, but you still had consistent finishes, which is what it was all about. Had a few rough weeks in the beginning of the season. I know one of the first two races, because you got to race two races the first, technically the second week of the season.
Right. Both of those races actually were pretty rough.
Were rough for you, so.
Yeah.
You want to talk to us a little bit about maybe the beginning of the season, kind of how rough it was for you, and then kind of how you got into your groove again mid-season and just started tearing it up again.
Definitely. The first few weeks of the year were interesting. We got the first half of the show ran on the opening night in June, and then we got rained out for the second half. So we ended up running double features the second week, and literally 25 feet or so past the green flag in our first race, I was pointed toward the turn one wall and just kind of was thinking, oh, this isn't going to go like it did last year, and just barely nudged it, thankfully. Didn't wait for a caution, just kind of backed out and went back at it, drove back up to, I don't know, with 14 cars I think we had that night, I think I drove back up to 11th or so, just without the yellow. Had the yellow flag and ended up driving up to 5th, so ended up with a 5th place finish in the first race. The second race was probably the favorite, or the best time I've had in a race car. We ended up knocking the nose off the car early in the race. The nose was dragging under the front of the car the whole time. But the competition yellow came out with 5 to go, and I started outside of Brandon Lazat. And he and I, like I've said before, have raced together our entire careers. And we ran side by side the last 5 laps of that race, with me on the outside and him on the inside. And we were both just going as hard as we could go. He would touch, the rear end of his car would touch mine going into the corner, and we just kind of feed off each other. The last 5 laps, we were trying so hard to beat each other. And that's the most fun, 5 laps. If I could pick any 5 laps, that is it. That was the most fun I've ever had in a race car. And he beat me, but we ended up second. So 5th and 2nd out of what could have been a devastating evening was pretty good. And then moved on to the July race, and I was excited it was a hot night. I was excited to have the American flag on the hood, which is something that I've started doing, and ended up passing for the lead. Came from 10th or so, made a pass for the lead on the outside, and then the car shut off. And this was just a sequence of things that had happened. I thought I was getting run over from behind, but I looked down and all the dash lights were out. So come to find out, there was a wire that had been a ground in the wiring system that wasn't good. So we ended up having a bad night that night, finished 11th, and then kind of decided we needed to go. We needed to go have fun. I thought the season was over points-wise at that point, so went out, won 2 races the next couple of weeks, and then I think we finished 4th or third or fourth, a couple of times in there too, and ended up putting a new set of tires on the car 2 weeks before the end of the year, and burned the right front off it in the feature the night before championship night, the week before championship night, and finished 5th. So we ended up 6 points back from Brandon with the last race of the year coming up. And consistency-wise, I mean, Brandon's always been that guy. He can drive through and be up there and do that. So I was worried that it was a little bit out of reach, but would have been just as happy for him. And he ended up having a tire failure, ended up in a backup car first, and then had a tire failure in the feature. And the only reason I knew that was came up to lap him on the final lap coming down to the flag. And I had no idea who was between us. I ended up winning that race, which was awesome too, coming from the back and just really having our hands full, driving hard through the field that night. And ended up winning the race and the championship. And you know, I had told him before the race, all I can do is go out there and try to win the race, and that's all that's in my control, and go out and do that. And we ended up getting it and got the first championship, which was really, really cool.
Football fans, have we got a deal for you? VIP Tour and Charter Bus Company is offering round-trip transportation to Gillette Stadium to watch the New England Patriots make another run for the Super Bowl. Ride in style knowing we're doing the driving. So if you've got a ticket, we've got your ride. It doesn't get any better than that. Just log on to VIPChartercoaches.com, click on the Browse Book Tour button, and book your trip today. It's that simple. Relax and leave the driving to us, and we'll leave the tailgating to you.
Hi, I'm Scott from Scotch Recreation. We just had the biggest month in our history. Why? We're selling campers at wholesale to the public, even the 2019s. So what did we do? We went out and bought a bunch more. Up to 40% off travel trailers and fifth wheels, up to 35% off toy haulers, up to 30% off motorhomes. You'll never see these prices again. Over 400 campers to choose from, all at wholesale prices.
Scott's Recreation, Route 4 Turner and Route 202 Manchester, Maine.
Hi, I'm Johnny Wolf. Here at 21st Century Motors, we've been in business since 1972 and we take pride in our work. We have a large selection of pre-owned vehicles that are clean and ready. I personally drive and state inspect every vehicle we sell. We're experts at getting your car financed, whether you have good, bad, or no credit. We purchase vehicles several times a week, so there's always plenty to choose from. Come on in and make a deal today at 21st Century Motors in Gorham or online at 21stcenturymaine.com.
Mainly Motorsports, brought to you by
Scotch Recreation. Whether you're thinking about your first camper or looking to upgrade your current one, Scotch Recreation can help you. Get both our Route 202 Manchester and our Route 4 Turner locations and online at scotchrecreation.com.
We ended up getting it and got the first championship, which was really, really cool.
And I remember that night and how it was like, you know, really cool for the both of you, but also really tough for the both of you, because both of you knew that you were obviously really great friends. He's even going to work on your team with you next season, which we'll talk about later. But it was hard for you, because I remember talking to both of you before the race, and you were like, this is awful, but also really great at the same time. And you guys both had that same mindset, because you knew that one of you were going to take it, and that. But it would be devastating for the other person, because you're so close. And that's one thing that's hard about being both friends and competitors, is because you want it so bad for yourself, but you'd also feel happy if someone else got it, but then you'd also feel devastated. Like, it's just a mix of emotions.
It's tough being such competitive people, because we're all obviously competitive people. He's one of the biggest supports I've had since I started racing. So, you know, to be able to go against him for something is something that was great. But like you said, the friendship side of it, knowing that at the end of it one of us was going to have to lose, wasn't as awesome. And he and I talked nonstop the week before championship night, and you know, we kind of came to the conclusion that, you know, we're going to be happy for the other person. We would have been, or either of us would have been. But like I said to him, you know, when one of us gets out of the car in tech and is the champion and the other one is not, we just got to make sure we're the first ones there to support the other. And he was right there, which is awesome. And I would have been there for him too. So we did get very lucky. You know, the racing is not just skill, but a lot of luck, and it was meant to be. So we got it done, and very excited that we were able to.
What were your thoughts going through that last race? Because I know you came in, we had talked a lot the week before about just how, you did have a deficit going into tonight, but it was still very much possible. And I know that Brandon had to start out the night in a backup car, but it was also a backup car that he had won in previous week in the season. But did you have any thoughts? Did you see him struggle anywhere during the race, and you thought maybe this is my time to just get it done and just go out and win?
I really didn't. He and I both started near the back because we were there in points, and I ended up, the first few laps of the race, I wasn't comfortable. The tire pressures hadn't come up. I couldn't make the car work well, and I fell to the back. I fell to dead last, and coming off of turn 2, Brandon slid up in front of me, and we were both kind of hanging out in the back, and I just kind of pulled the belts tight and said, I gotta go. We gotta try to gap this as much as I can, get in front of him by as much as I can, and was able to drive through and restart after the competition. Actually, it wasn't competition yellow, but restart with 6 to go in second, and was able to get the lead and just drive away. And those were the hardest laps I've ever driven in my life, just trying to run away. And that's all I could do. And he can get the most out of cars. There's very few people that can drive a car that is not capable, that has a tire hanging off it, whatever it may be, and still be consistent with it. And he's that guy. And that's why it was concerning for me going in 6 points down. But like I said, we got lucky, and were able to get it done. So.
And what were some of your thoughts and your feelings? I know it's hard to kind of put it into words when you first get it. So now looking back, a couple months later, after you now finally had a championship, what would you have to say about just a feeling that you felt in that night? Just kind of overcoming everything, not just overcoming the points deficit at night, but from going from everything you overcame in 2017 to just not even having your best year statistically, but just being able to pull it off in the end. How do you just feel about everything?
I'm kind of a shoot the target in front of me kind of person. I like to just put the past back there, not really think about that all that much, and move forward. To look back at it, I mean, it was a dream come true. It was something that as a kid, I wanted to do, and I didn't get an opportunity to. And I think that's a fun piece to this too, is I wasn't your traditional Thursday Thunder driver. I wasn't 17 or 18 years old getting in one of these cars. I was 35 getting in one of these cars the first time. And being able to do that and get that, you want it more. You definitely have the same feeling that all these people have, but you have, maturity is probably a strong word when you're getting in a race car, but you have a different mindset to the big picture. And being able to do that and look back at it and watch the videos and see the crowd's reaction and have the autograph hour after and get to talk to some of the fans that had these amazing stories about watching me the past 2 years. It was just really, really cool to reflect on that and realize that it wasn't just me. I mean, it was all of us in the division that we were doing it for. It was the sport. It was just really cool. And everybody that has helped me along the way. I mean, that was the coolest thing, pulling into tech when everybody was jumping on the car and on the hood and spraying it with champagne. And that's the stuff that was really neat and really cool to reflect back on.
Yeah.
For sure.
And that's actually a good segment into our next segment. So when we come back, I definitely want to talk about, the people, because it's like you said, it's not just you, but the people, not only your fellow competitors, but also your family and friends that are there for you every week on and off the racetrack. So I think it's important to give some thanks to them. So we'll take another break. I know me and Chris talk a lot, but we're going to take another break, and then we're going to come back and we're going to talk to him a little bit about his support system that he has behind the number 45 Dream Machine.
Welcome to Mainely Motorsports.
To order a copy of this show, send a check or money order for $15, including shipping and handling, to Mainely Motorsports, 2 Main Street, Suite 17-103, Biddeford, Maine, 04005. And please add the show number in the description of the show.
Servicing differentials is virtually impossible. The confined space makes fill holes difficult to reach, and industry-standard conical bottles are rigid and hard to squeeze. That combination makes for a messy job. Plus, you can't get all of the gear lube out of the bottle, so you have to buy more than you need to complete the job. And engineering your own solution only results in disaster. Not anymore. Introducing the new AMSOIL Easy Pack. Easily access hard-to-service differentials. Easily squeeze out all of the contents. And easily stay clean while you do it. No more leftover fluid or inconvenient rigid bottles. No more trouble reaching difficult fill holes. No more mess. AMSOIL Severe Gear in the new Easy Pack. The solution to all your problems.
Another first from AMSOIL. For a stocking dealer nearest you, call toll-free 877-761-8375 or visit fourseasonsynthetic.com.
Hi, I'm Andy Austin with exciting news about a new division of Beech Ridge Motor Speedway designed to bring new people to weekly racing. Here's series founder Dan Wolf.
Thanks, Andy. Our goal was to create cheap, easy-to-build race cars. Bone stock production cars with a simple 4-point roll cage and proper safety equipment.
We've named them the 21st Century Motors Street Devils. Our 2017 rulebook and schedule are available at beechridge.com and at Street Devils Racing on Facebook.
The future of auto racing has always been streetcar divisions because of the low cost.
Some folks are building cars and sharing the driving duties. There's even an all-star car to allow celebrities to try out the Street Devil and a 2-seat driver's ed car so you can take a few laps.
Get information about our mentor program, low-cost safety equipment, roll cage kits, and videos on how to build one at Street Devils Racing on Facebook.
So, form a team, build a car, and come join us this summer as we kick off the 21st Century Motors Street Devil division at Beech Ridge Motor Speedway.
Hi, I'm Sean Moody. We take pride in our facilities, and at Moody's, it's what's inside that matters. We believe it's more than just the exterior looking good, it's what's inside that matters. Restoring the structure of your vehicle the factory specs is critical to your safety. I'm proud of our Moody's co-worker owners who understand the importance of protecting a valuable asset. And we all know what our most valuable asset is. It's what's inside that matters.
For a trusted name in residential and commercial site work in the southern Maine area, call Peter Pettit Excavating. We can handle everything from the complete house lot to those nasty water and sewer line repairs. Septic systems are another area that we specialize in. During the snow season, Pettit Excavating has the equipment to handle any size job.
And when the race season arrives, be sure to follow the number 7 Hewitt's Family Restaurant Chevrolet on the past Super Late Model Tour.
Call 207-282-9305 to get the job done right. That's Peter Pettit Excavating.
Don't deal with just anybody to seal coat your driveway or business this season. Call Black Magic. They bring over 20 years of experience in seal coating and crack filling. Black Magic's skilled team makes sure the job is always done right, on schedule with quality workmanship at a fair price. Protect your investment in your driveway by getting it sealed with Black Magic.
Ooh, Black Magic.
My name is Scott. This is Devin. We're the owners of Black Magic Seal Coating. Let us earn your business today. You'll be glad you did.
Patman's Redemption and Agency Liquor Store is located at 95 Tanberg Trail in Windham, Maine. With over 400 feet of hard liquor and 15 doors of ice-cold beer and soda, Patman's can handle all of your beverage needs. And if it's wine on your agenda, we have over 300 varieties in stock. Then when the party's over, Patman's can handle all of your Maine returnables, and we welcome all bottle drives. And if you're late for the race, drop off the bottles and pick up the cash at your convenience.
Hey, this is Pat Man himself, just letting you know that Pat Man's is your one-stop shop for all your thirsty needs.
So welcome back to Mainely Motorsports TV. I'm here with Chris Case. We just talked about his kind of Cinderella story of a season in 2018. Talked a little bit at the end of last segment about, you know, how it just hasn't been you. You know, there's been a lot of people helping you out, not only your like fellow competitors who, you know, you have a lot of people that race in the varsity division that are also, you know, kind of your teammates and help you out, but also family and friends that are there for you on a weekly basis.
Yeah, definitely. it's interesting you say competitors too. We had a fuel pump issue halfway through the year or so, and I have pictures of everybody helping. Everybody else that was my competitors wanted me to race, and it was really neat to have that, but that's not exactly what you were asking. So yeah, as far as the people that help me, obviously our families have to put up with us spending countless hours on race cars. So my wife and my son was 2 last year when he changed his first control arm, it's just amazing, a lot of fun to be able to do that stuff with him. My wife, as I said, puts up with it, so it's nice to have that. My parents are huge supports. They're there every week, and obviously the people. We pit with Ben Crowder and Ed Johnson, and Ed's new to the Beetle Bugs, so we were able to work with him a lot this year, and he went right into varsity coming out of the Bombers. Ed has been a huge support of all of us, and he's somebody that, you know, I was a big fan of Ed's when he was in the Bombers, even before I started racing. And it's neat to kind of work with him a little bit and him ask questions of us, which is definitely a role reversal from what I was expecting. But Ben can make those cars go. Ben got me comfortable in the shorter wheelbase car in the CRX. He has a lot of experience with those, and you know, he made the car comfortable for me. It's not the way he'd drive it, it's what I like, and I'm not a mechanic by trade. I need to have that help, and that's been stuff that's really, you know, it's mind-blowing to me what you can do with a car when you know what you're doing with it. So we've had a lot of support like that, and as I said, all my competitors, after the session before championship night, there was an open practice on Saturday, and Brandon was there. You know, Brandon, the guy I'm chasing, he was there, trying to help me make the car turn, figure out what was wrong with it the week before. So it's everyone, you know, from top to bottom, the racing family is something that you just can't duplicate. You really have ups and downs and brother and sister type relationships, and Ben's wife Kara, who I ended up turning around earlier in the season, who races with us also. She's another huge support. She and I started at the same time too. She came in with us at the same time, and she took a season off, but is there now. And being able to have those relationships, those friendships, the trust that you have with those people is really great. And those are the people that really stick out to you. You know, everybody that comes to the track every week that supports us, the fans, we do it for them, you know, and they're there for us. So it's really a great support system in that sense too. And obviously without sponsors, we couldn't do this.
I was going to say, people kind of know your car as in the Beetle Bugs as being the one with a sponsor everywhere on the car.
Yeah, stickers all over. I do love Fig Newtons, but it's not safe to sell the windshield. Yeah, I've really tried to support my hobby with the sponsors. I've worked really hard, and I have a lot of people that I know from different aspects of life than cars that help out. My primary sponsor, Modern Woodman Fraternal Financial, Scott's been with me for 3 years, and he's been awesome, just supportive. Not somebody that grew up with racing, that knows racing, but somebody that learns every time he hears about it, and just an amazing sponsor to have. I was really lucky to have them. The main sales company is my parents' company, but they've always been contributors to different safety equipment. That's been where the safety equipment comes from. Rich Varney with Advantage Pest Control, Levithian Tattoo, check my list here, Chasing the Checker. That's one that we need to thank, because every week having the articles written about us that Amy does, it's really cool to read about what was seen from the stands. You can watch a video, but it doesn't give you any dynamic to the rest of the stuff that happens. So your articles, thank you for those. Those are really, really cool to be able to read.
It was kind of cool how we became friends too, because I remember it was after the first week, and I had made a lot of mistakes in my article, and because it's you're coming in doing something new. It's a lot different than Saturday nights where you know, there's less divisions, less drivers to deal with, and I had personally been going to every Saturday night race for the past few years. Yeah. And I came into Thursday Night Thunder, and you don't have the first few weeks like updated names or stuff, so you just kind of wing it, and you just kind of go off of what the commentators say, so it's really rough. And I remember I was getting some negative like feedback or whatever, and then I have you who like pops into the inbox and says, hey, I just want to thank you for like making us drivers feel relevant again. And it kind of made me, I was like kind of at a loss. I was like, I don't know if I want to keep doing this. And then like messages like that kind of, kind of helped me just be like, you know what, you've got this.
Well, and that was my first win too. Your first article that you wrote was my first win. So it was something that I look back at, and I really enjoy, obviously, being able to have that, show my sponsors, and everyone, there's a learning curve everywhere. If you listen to the videos from opening night, it wasn't just you that was calling people by the wrong names. It was everybody, because the lists haven't been updated, like you said. So it is what it is. It was a lot of fun. You've been able to walk around the pits and get to know a lot of the drivers, all of the drivers, and you have that dynamic now where you know who's in what, and it just becomes a recognition of number and person, and it was great then, and it's still great. Every week we look forward, all of us look forward to getting those articles, to be able to see what you saw. So
thank you.
It's very neat. So anyway, chasing the checkered. Heidi's House Daycare is on the car. I'm able to every year bring my car there for a curriculum that they do in the summers, which is neat to show the kids and get a chance to do that. They also sponsor and help financially. And Hartford Safe and Lock, which is actually a Connecticut-based business, but my uncle owns that company, and he's been really supportive. He's one of the car guys that I grew up with. That his Camaro was one of the first cars that I really got to work on and play with and see and enjoy. And he actually got an opportunity to do the Rusty Wallace race experience for the first time a few weeks back, and he got to get in a race car and see what that's like, and he doesn't want to do it anymore. So there's a lot of people. Obviously, next year we have some new people coming on board. The Sacco House of Pizza is going to be on the car. Excited for that. And the quarter panels are still empty, so if somebody wants to jump on, let me know. We'll make sure we get some pictures done and do all that stuff.
And I think another thing, like in addition to like all these sponsorships, is that in my articles this year I always mention like the Dream Machine. So you do have some nonprofits on the car as well that you're like personally involved in. That has been a big part of like autograph nights. So do you want to talk just a little bit more like about them and kind of why we? Well, I mean, I kind of came up with the Dream Machine thing. You're like, oh, that sounds perfect. Really cool.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah, it was great. The Dream Factory of Maine is an organization that I'm on the board with. They grant dreams to kids with chronic illnesses versus terminal illnesses like Make-A-Wish. Make-A-Wish does terminal, Dream Factory does the chronic. I'm type 1 diabetic, so it was something that stuck out to me to begin with. And we've been able to do some neat things with the car. We had a dream recipient this year actually that went to Talladega to meet Kyle Busch. That was her dream, 16-year-old girl. And it was cool working with, again, the racing family, with the people and the people that those people know, to be able to make all this happen. So the Dream Factory is all over the car. Getting their name out there is huge. Everybody knows about Make-A-Wish. Not many people know about the Dream Factory, and the Dream Factory is all volunteer. I think we have 3 full-time staff throughout the country. So we're all volunteer. We all do as much as we can to both grant dreams and make sure that we're financially able to do that. And if anybody's seen my car, the hood has always been signed. And that's a fundraiser that I do with the Dream Factory. Is we do the candy cane making event that Haven's Candies hold every year, the Saturday after Thanksgiving. So the car is there with the hood, and people pay $5 a piece to sign the hood. So that obviously transfers into the season and autograph hours. People want to put their names on it, so we do it. And that's all something that raises money for the Dream Factory. So it's a near and dear nonprofit, but they're there. The other nonprofit that's on the car is Safe Kids Maine, which is a child safety seat installation and education nonprofit. And they hold events throughout the state that educate parents on how to keep their kids safe in the cars. So both of them are really important. Both of them are things that need to get more visibility and need to get that fundraising. So if anybody wants to make any donations, Dream Factory or Safe Kids Maine. And then this year we're going to do something a little bit different too. I just came up with this yesterday. We run the American flag hood on the race closest to July 4th every year. And we're going to start putting names of soldiers on that. So whether they're active duty or veterans, we're going to put those names on there so that we have that filled with names also. And if people want to donate, we're going to put them on regardless. But if people want to donate money to that, we're going to donate that to the Travis Mills Foundation. So there's ways to use our dreams to make other dreams come true, which is, you know, kind of the point, to be able to pay it forward. So we're lucky enough to be in these cars.
Yeah, so definitely a lot of plans to, you know, kind of make things better, continue with like the involvement with nonprofits to kind of get the word out about them, but also continue your dream when you move up into varsity, which is really exciting for 2019. So he's still got quarterfinals available. So if anyone's interested, if anyone's interested in, like, you know, learning more about your team or like about you as a driver, do you want to share how they can find you on social media?
Absolutely. My race team has a website, JPDC Motorsports, and that's, like I said, on Facebook. Feel free to get on there. I get all the messages directly from there. So if anybody has any suggestions, I'm happy to hear them. And you'll probably see videos of my son, you know, playing with tools and stuff. So it's entertaining. We're fun to kind of follow, I think, because there's what you said. It's a dream. This is my dream. I'm able to do it. I'm very lucky to be able to do it. And you know, a lot of the posts that I put up are basically saying that. I mean, it's feeling it from a different perspective. So yeah, I'd love to have people following me and finding out what's going on with that. So JPDC Motorsports on Facebook, that is me.
Mm-hmm. Well, thank you for helping us, mainly Motorsports TV fans, you know, kind of get to learn more about not only Thursday Night Thunder, but, you know, your past whirlwind of the season in the past, not just the season, the past 2 years, past 3 years. So looking forward to seeing how you do in 2019, kind of keeping that dream alive and maybe capturing another championship against some, you know, veterans in the sport.
We'll see. I just don't want to embarrass myself in 2019. We'll see what happens. We're going to go out there and get to run against some very experienced drivers that are awesome. So we're going to go have a lot of fun and just keep going with it.
All right. Well, thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, you're welcome. And we hope all of you enjoyed this segment of Mainly Motorsports TV.
Welcome to LST Landscaping, where we've been providing complete landscape solutions to all of southern Maine since 1969. We specialize in year-round landscape maintenance and snow services, including weekly lawn mowing, seasonal cleanups, sweeping, mulching, and so much more. Many more customizable services are available upon request. Please call our office today at 207-878-1578 or visit our website, lstlandscapinginc.com.
Ignition won't turn? Wait, don't tow it. It may just be a one key. Hi, I'm Jim Broadhurst, owner of E-Keys for Cars of Saco. At E-Keys for Cars, we'll diagnose your problem over the phone and give you a firm quote. No bait and switch here. Whenever or wherever you're stuck, E-Keys for Cars will come to you. Call E-Keys for Cars in Saco, the fast, affordable fix for your car key and lock needs.
E-Keys, they raise the bar. E-Keys for Cars.
Hi, I'm Johnny Wolf. Here at 21st Century Motors, we've been in business since 1972 and we take pride in our work. We have a large selection of pre-owned vehicles that are clean and ready. I personally drive and state inspect every vehicle we sell. We're experts at getting your car financed, whether you have good, bad, or no credit. We purchase vehicles several times a week, so there's always plenty to choose from. Come on in and make a deal today at 21st Century Motors in Gorham or online at 21stcenturymaine.com.
Mainly Motorsports, brought to you by
Four Seasons Synthetic. See them for all your AMSOIL product needs. Once again, Amy did a great job to do all that, and that's right up her alley, the reporting side of things and the talking and you know, really digging in. So good job to Amy and Chris, and hopefully it'll be a good job by Jason Gammon down there as he pilots the Dirty Lou. It's going down as the number 5 this year. Jason's going to participate in the street stock race. As you're watching this, it's already happened, and we'll have some highlights for you. But you know, wishing him the best of luck. Thank you to Rage of Gear for hauling it down. Louis for getting out of the seat and giving Jason the opportunity, as Jason had some of the major components needed to make this year's trek. And so really excited about that. And just it's one of those races, man. You got to get there. You got to get there if you ever get the chance. We'll take a break. We'll come back and wrap up this week's episode of Mainly Motorsports.
Football fans, have we got a deal for you? VIP Tour and Charter Bus Company is offering round-trip transportation to Gillette Stadium to watch the New England Patriots make another run for the Super Bowl. Ride in style knowing we're doing the driving. So if you've got a ticket, we've got your ride. It doesn't get any better than that. Just log on to VIPChartercoaches.com, click on the Browse Book Tour button, and book your trip today. It's that simple. Relax and leave the driving to us, and we'll leave the tailgating to you.
Mainly Motorsports, brought to you by
Scotch Recreation. Whether you're thinking about your first camper or looking to upgrade your current one, Scotch Recreation can help you. Get both our Route 202 Manchester and our Route 4 Turner locations and online at scotchrecreation.com.
Well, welcome back to Mainly Motorsports. And as we wrap up this week's episode, the Northeast Motorsports Expo is just around the corner. You got to get in. You got to make plans to attend. You got to just want to be a part of it. Whether you're a driver, a team, a track, a tour, a vendor, you need to be a part of it. You know, coming up in Augusta, January 11th through the 13th. Plenty of opportunities to get your cars ready. Vendor spots still available. Looking forward to the DJP booth. Quirk once again back with us. Hell of a good. Four Season Synthetic. You know, we're going to see a lot of familiar faces, but you always see the new faces, and starting to see the chassis getting powder coated, starting to see the sponsors being announced, starting to see the schedules coming out. You know, all the stuff that we look forward to up there in Augusta. And once again, we'll have some seminars. Waddell's Communications. We'll have a spotter seminar each year. Everybody goes, they pick up a little bit more and a little bit more, you know, so really excited and looking forward to seeing Sean again. Just so much happening, you know. Off season's here, but there's still a lot of things happening. You know, you can follow along right here at Mainly Motorsports as we any breaking announcements, whether it's new teams being formed, new drivers, you know, ownership changes in tracks or tours, and ACT just had a big announcement. Chris Michaud, they've obviously taken over White Mountain, but they got some big races going on for those guys this year. Going back to Star Speedway, some $5,000 to win races, and heard a rumor that the Tri-Track Mod Series is going to be at the Oxford 250 weekend. That takes a big weekend and makes it even bigger. So we hope you all enjoyed this week's episode. Once again, great job to Amy, and next week we'll have some highlights right there from Five Flag Speedway as we attend the 51st Annual Snowball Derby.